I don't know why that got killed off, so I just started it again.
Oh, okay. So he did say that he thinks in general pool would bring up the value by 50,000, but I have to look at every single comp to like see if that's true.
Yeah, and if he feels good about that, maybe that's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
Like 50,000. Well, how much does it cost to put in a pool there?
Probably the same amount, but it's a permit nightmare.
Okay, so typically I would think it's worth a little bit more then. Like if someone has to spend 50 to get it, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna value it a little bit more. But I don't know that pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I would get a pool bid anyways, just so you guys have that in the back of your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we have to kind of go off of did he suggest 900 as the list price?
No, he suggested below, but I'm trying to find out like, but remember how I talked to that other broker that sold that pool comp? Again, he could be wanting my business like you said, but he sent me a CMA saying 900, 915, something like that. So now I'm just confused.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get there. I mean, I would go off the broker you've been working with information if you believe in him.
Yeah, I don't know if I do. So that's why I'm trying to look at the data, but I guess I just got to look at those.
Well, I would say if you can't read their CMAs and
Mhm.
and you don't go, I feel really good about the CMA and the reason behind the CMA, then
Mhm.
then it's not a real CMA anyways.
Okay.
Like, and so whether it's high or low, because you're gonna guess your way through and you're gonna guess wrong.
Yeah, I don't want to guess.
So that's what this person's for though.
Okay.
Like, we can ask for certain information. That's what we're doing to help you make a decision there. But at the end of the day, don't you, I mean, because you still bought when you bought that property, you had a fully fixed up comp for it, correct?
Yeah, but it was March 2024, so yes, it's just older.
Okay, so an older comp,
Yeah.
here would be my thing on that. What did that sell for?
720 cuz they gave a $20,000 credit.
Okay, so it sold for 700. If that
Smaller
was
house, sorry.
older, no, but you had a renovated house too.
Oh no, I meant it's a little bit smaller, less square footage.
Okay, so then you thought yours was worth 750 based on that, right? Or something in that range?
And I said 790.
Okay, 790 because yours is bigger.
Yeah.
So the question to be to the broker is, okay, and he's telling me 900. I used my value based on a comp that was a year old. Has the market gotten better or worse over the last 12 months?
Okay.
Because it probably hasn't gotten better there with insurance, right? Florida's cooled down. So the guy telling me 900 is feeding me a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah. The only reason I question it is because that street is getting popular and well, people bought based on value. They're renovating like three, four homes. So, but that's just that.
But I'm using stats and logic right now.
Mm. Yeah.
My comp is from a year ago. It's a pretty good comp. It was fully flipped.
Mm-hmm.
It's smaller, so if the market has stayed par, it's still going to put me at that number that you were thinking you were going to list at. I do know the market has not gone up there. And unless your street's better or something else, 900 is telling me that that's probably the wrong answer.
Okay. Does it matter that that comp it like went pending in like 6 days, or it's just likely the pool that maybe made that happen?
Uh, it's just I don't know what's the average days on market in the neighborhood.
When I looked it up, I have to see now, but I thought it was like 3 months.
Okay, what
So,
did the brokers say in their CMA?
oh, I don't remember the 900 CMA. I'd have to look it up.
So, Alex, I want you to use the professionals to
Okay.
get the information because the information you're looking at might not be accurate all the time too. It's kind of like when you were looking for a deal and you're like trying to do it, it's just like, or we got to just focus on this, right? Because you're gonna second guess yourself, or like when you're estimating your house. You're going back and forth. It's like we got to use that information first because they provided it, and then look because they're all those relative sales are going to have their average days on markets, whereas you're going to be looking through a bunch of data, whereas this broker's at least saying these are relative to your sale.
Mm-hmm.
And so if the pool sold in 8 days and the average days on market's 40, that's going to tell me, yeah, the pool was a big factor in the sale.
Yeah. Should I check both like CMAs, the one from the broker that I've been working with and
I think
just
the one telling you 900 is full of shit, to be honest.
okay.
And I
No,
don't know anything about that market, so maybe he's not,
yeah.
but that logically doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I didn't dig into those comps, but I have a feeling they're from around the corner, so they're gonna be better. Okay.
Yeah, you know, take a look at it because you got two CMAs. What's the average days on market? But that will tell you whether the pool is a big factor or not.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it's you guys, we can get into analysis paralysis on things or like even things we hear, right? Like, oh, well, this guy on this podcast talked about this strategy and he's doing this to sell houses, but if the houses is in a different state and it's a different price, it doesn't matter. Like there might be little tips and we could take tips and go with that. But you know, that's why we want to go, okay, here's what we want to pull together. And then here's the people to go verify the information because we can go down the rabbit hole on things. Like I know I can, where I'm like, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait, I just went down this rabbit hole and I'm back at where I am. And so that's why we want to build those teams around like the right broker, the right wholesaling guys to be around, the right contractors. These are all key components of our, you know, our business. And again, you guys, if the brokers can't give you that information, you know, even if they don't have it relative, like, hey, what's the average days on market? You know what? I don't know. Let me go find out for you. Here's what's happening in these zip codes. I would like my job as a broker is to set the expectation too. Last thing I want to do is tell Alex, hey, look, here's this comp. I think it's good. You know, yours is renovated, it should sell. And Alex goes, well, that one sold in 8 days. When we hit day 7 or day 8, Alex is going to call me and go, hey, where's our offers? I'm like, ooh, well, market's slow. I want to set that expectation right. Like, hey, Alex, the average days on market are 40 to 60 days. We need to anticipate, you know, let's pick the right price and let's sit firm. And we got to be good with this price for at least 1 to 2 months. And so if that broker can't have that conversation, that's where you're gonna they're not we need actuals and factuals. And so, you know, getting those right people on there is really, really important. Have a good night, Alicia. Sorry, she said bye. Um, so Alex, I want you to get that information from those brokers though.
Yeah, I'm just gonna directly ask them because they just
And
confuse me.
honestly, I wouldn't even talk to the guy at 900 anymore because you're not giving them the business anyways. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So, I mean, that's not, I would just have your broker be like, hey, dude, I would just have my broker call that guy.
he
Or
did. It didn't end well.
okay, so yeah, so that guy's just your typical sales guy then. If he's not having an honest conversation with your broker, he wants different business. I wouldn't worry about too much. He's just going to confuse you more.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Um, all right. Pretty. AJ, Nikki,
Hey James,
how are you?
I'm doing okay. Uh, First question was kind of similar to what was already asked. I actually wanted to ask, like, when you say listing is better in September, is it because of uh, school opening, or is it just usually a better time because schools open earlier here in on like August 16th?
You know, you guys, seasonal slowdowns are all different for different reasons. Um, like, y- and so that I don't know. You'd have to ask your locals on that one.
Okay.
Like they'll know the seasons. I can tell you in Arizona, the school starts August 1st and the market is not doing well during that time because it's so hot.
Okay.
And so, each area is so different. Typically across the board, September, because people are starting to settle in with their lives.
Mm.
But
Okay.
yeah, I would ask what that seasonal slowdown is, and it's just that one will be very market specific on that one.
Okay. There's no like genetic thing. It's always market specific based off of like different factors.
Yeah, and there's lots of factors in there. It can be, like no one really wants to look for houses in Phoenix when it's 115 degrees. And
Okay.
so, there's just there's different factors in that. Like Seattle and Arizona, California, like it actually does fairly well, like in the beginning of January a lot of times.
Mhm.
It might be different in Denver because you might have 4 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And so that's something that I would definitely those are kind of I would talk to the local brokers on because they'll have the better read on that one.
Okay. Uh, Another thing I wanted to ask was, initially when I got the loan from the lender, they actually did an appraisal and they came up with like a after repair value themselves. Would you ever like consider that uh while listing your property as like a price point, or is it always based off of like what you find your own comps at?
Are you talking about the hard money lender?
Yes.
I don't use hard money lenders. I mean, you guys, it depends on, I think, if I ever have a lender come in and say, hey, we want you to bring more money in because we don't see the values there, that's a cue for me to double check but I just don't use lender values. I mean, like my flip in Newport Beach, the lender appraised it at 7.4 and I sold it for 8.6.
Okay. Ours was actually a little bit higher than what we were thinking.
And that happens too, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, uh, there's a deal we just sold not recently or pretty recently, and we put a value at like 1.3 on it, and in trust funding, same, similar ownership, they put a value at 1.4 on it because they're doing different things. It's for loan to value versus sell. Brokers are going to price things based on market conditions more, whereas lenders are only going to look at data points. And also, a lot of times, lenders don't know how to read streets correctly. They don't know impacts as well. And so they're doing it a little bit more off math rather than like the feel of the house.
Okay. Um, Another thing is my so I told you about my realtor. I actually had a conversation with her and I asked her to provide the data, and then she hasn't provided me that. Plus, she mentioned that she's going on a 2 week vacation, uh, like right after the time that I was thinking about listing the property. So, uh, I was just wondering, like, should I really be going with her, and like, what would be the right course of action for?
I wouldn't because we are as you guys, when I wear the broker hat, my clients are the clients. They're in charge. I will definitely give them honest feedback and always tell them my opinion pretty bluntly. But And if I think they're doing something wrong or maybe making a mistake, we'll talk about it. But at the end of the day, if they want me to do something, my job is to do that or not take them on as a client. Um, if they're not getting you the reporting you need,
Hmm.
I wouldn't do it anyways. Hey, if I need this from you, you got to get it to me. Going on vacation for 2 weeks when your listing's not great, but she could have a really good selling team behind them. Like, does she talk about, hey, but this is what happens when I'm on vacation?
So I asked her. She said some friend of hers is joining the brokerage, so he will be the partner on that deal, so he can handle, but I don't know that person. So I was like kind of skeptical about that also because like is that person gonna be able to like provide me the right information, being able to like call the buyer's agent, stuff like that. I don't know because I don't know that person.
Yeah, and I would say, hey, I want to meet that person. And here's my expectations. This person found you the deal, right?
She didn't technically find me the deal. The so me and her both got this wholesale deal sent to them. I
Okay.
already saw it before she sent it to me. She did help me a little bit because she had the wholesaler wait for a day until I ran my numbers and figured out stuff.
Okay. And I read that as the wholesaler didn't have a different buyer, or they just would have done the deal. Okay, so what value does this person bring to you? They don't do what you asked, and you guys, we also have like, I'm a broker, and I also know that I provide probably more service than most, or at least expect my team to. I don't expect all the brokers I work with to operate the same level that we do. But I do expect them to get back to me on if I have questions on things. So she's not getting back to you. She doesn't get you
Yeah,
the reports.
she said it like 3 times since last week, like, oh, I was swamped. I'm working on it. I'll send it to you.
Okay,
And
and what did you
then
ask her for specifically?
like basically the current market data and any new comps that came up, or like
Okay.
now that we are close to finishing it, what would what would she put the market value at?
Okay, so you asked her what her broker price opinion is, and she hasn't given you one?
No, she just keeps saying like, "Oh, I'm swamped.
Oh,
I was working on it, but she hasn't sent me. It's been like almost a week and a half." And then in between, this conversation came up about her vacation stuff, and then she was like, "Oh, if this listing is not on the cards, that's fine. You can give it to the other person or something." And then yeah,
wait, give it to the other person or go find a different broker?
uh, find a different broker. As in, okay, so
Oh,
there's
then
people that
there's your answer right there. She gave you an out. She's not getting what you need. I go hire somebody else. She just basically told you,
okay,
hey, if it don't work, it don't work. I'm too busy to get back to you. That's just move on at that point.
okay,
Yeah, you don't need to hang on to that person. Just say, hey, I want you to enjoy your vacation. Thank you for everything you did. And hopefully we can do business in the future.
okay.
It's if she just opened the door for you.
She did. I was just trying to be like loyal, but I'm like, it might hurt me because she is not providing me the information I need, and she is not answering my questions, any questions like straightforward.
Yeah, yeah, in general, if she's not doing that, I would get rid of her. Now, if there was like she sourced you the deal and you guys had like an understanding to relist it and she gets a lot of deal flow, then you got to kind of figure that a different way. But she opened, I would just get rid of her at that point. She basically told you she doesn't care. And you guys, a CMA from a broker should not take 10 days. That it should not take that much. If it's taking them that long, I would move on anyways. So yeah, I would look at who has sold homes recently in there, or take this as an opportunity to who is the broker selling a lot of deals to investors, good deals. Use this as a
Mhm.
carrot to go get your next good deal too, and give them the listing.
Okay, so actually, like the wholesaler that sent me this deal, she actually is a broker also, and she is partnering with this other person. So that guy actually already wanted the listing, and he's the same guy who worked on all the Tyler and Zosha's flip. So I kind of know that person also.
Yeah, and then and honestly, guys, if someone calls me up and they want me to list their property and I had to do a lot of stuff in the middle, it's like, hey, can you give me, I was going to use someone else, but I decided to move over there. I wouldn't have a problem asking for a little bit of a reduction either.
Okay.
Like if you called me up and said, "Hey, James, can you list this property? It's about ready to go. Can you get me a CMA?" and it's an investor, we typically are going to knock 1 point off that listing just because that's part of the value that we're providing. And honestly, we didn't have to do all the middle stuff, which is almost as hard as selling it. And so,
Mhm.
you might be able to save a little money and then build that relationship with someone that can get you that next deal.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that actually. Uh, One last question. Uh, I actually kind of messed up in this one. So I had a concrete contractor do the driveway, and basically I didn't like I had pictures for most of the driveway except the portion that they weren't gonna touch, and then I think they kind or I not think they definitely did that. So when they were breaking the concrete, they like broke that portion of it, and I didn't have pictures to prove that it wasn't broken before. And so now I'm like worried because that's the front portion of the house. Uh, because that's gonna look like really bad, even though they filled it, it's still not
Is there
looking
no
good.
listing photos or photos at all?
Not for that portion. Like that is the only portion of the house that has no pictures anywhere.
I mean, this is kind of like a hearsay thing. I would just try to beat them on site and say, hey, look, this was not this done this way. It appears your guys might have damaged it when they were doing their install. If they say they didn't, be like, well, I remember it differently. You guys are remembering it differently. Like, how do we come to some sort of resolution on this? And maybe best case scenario, you guys split the bill. But if you don't have proof, it's going to be really hard to say they did it.
Yeah, that is where I got stuck, and like that is if I try to do it myself now separately, it's gonna be probably another 2 grand worth of
Yeah, well, I
stuff.
would also ask them like, hey, can you fix this and give me a really good deal on this if they won't pay for it?
Okay.
Maybe they'll give you something at cost and you'll save money. Hey, you say you didn't break it. I've seen it different. Like, how do we resolve this? Can you at least maybe get me can you knock 50% off this repair bill?
Okay. Yeah, I'll check if he's willing to do that. Okay, yeah, that's all of my questions. Thank you so much.
Well, good news is you're ready to list. No.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be done in like two, 2.5 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good job though. You turned it quick. That was a big fixture. So
Oh yeah, it's a big
it didn't seem
relief.
like that long ago we were looking at that floor plan and that you twisted that place all a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, but yeah, we finally got it. It would have been sooner, but
You
something.
and Alex knocked your projects out. Good for both you because they were both big projects. So, um, now we got to get them sold.
Yes, for sure. That is the next anxiety part.
All right, we'll go through the motions, find the right broker, and then get a good CMA on it. So,
Yep. Yeah. Thank you.
yeah, Nikki,
Hey, hi, James.
how are you?
Good, good. Yeah, so I have a question. Let's say if I find a property of market and plan to hold it like for myself, but like I currently don't have visa, like as I said, like I cannot do any business or have an agent license or something. So how do I proceed with that? Because how can I take a help from an agent or like go with the paperwork, title and all? If I take involve an agent, they'll ask for commission and all. But since it is like I only find the deal and I only go move forward, so how can I like move ahead in this direction?
Okay, so how do you verify the paperwork and everything?
Paperwork, yeah. How do I handle it by myself?
Nikki,
What
I
is
would
the
hire an
best?
attorney, a real estate attorney to review it for you.
Okay,
Oh, you
okay.
want to contract the property, like put it on.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
and so, well, you can watch Project Wholesale, and
Mm-hmm.
sale is in there. Um,
Okay.
because that will take you through writing an offer and using the tools in there. But honestly, sometimes, like you can get a broker to do that for sometimes like 1%.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hey, can you just process this paperwork through? We have clients call us and we do that for them all the time. And because we'll transaction coordinate it too. But if it's your first deal and it's a really good deal, I would just make sure you're doing your paperwork correctly. You could have an attorney draft your purchase and sale as well for you,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably
Mm-hmm.
going to cost you $500 roughly.
Okay.
And so I would definitely, if it's a good deal, you like it, either just bring a broker in and say, hey, look, will you do this for 1%? What's the purchase price on the property?
I mean, I'm just looking, so mostly 800 to 900K range.
Okay, so 1% I would think is a little aggressive. So maybe a 0.5% on that big of a price point. Uh,
Got it.
but I would use, I mean, that's what they're there for, is to make sure your paperwork's correct. And that's kind of why they're
Hmm.
getting paid. And so,
Makes
or
sense.
you could have an attorney write up the whole offer for you as well.
Okay, got it. So they'll be able to do it. Okay. And if I take like head and Dainard agents, how will that work as well? Like as
Yeah, we can write the offer for you. On typically something like that, we're going to be like, it depends on what you really want. Like if you want transaction coordinating and for us to handle that whole part, we're probably going to charge you about a 0.5% during that.
oh,
It's just writing
okay.
an offer and you kind of take it over from there.
Uh-huh.
It'll probably be it'd be less than $1,000.
Got it, got it. Okay. Sure. Maybe I can like who should I connect with if I plan to take help from?
Um,
Okay.
well, I think shoot, I can get you connected with our transaction manager, Carrie.
Okay.
She can write the purchase and sale. It's just a matter of, the thing to think about is, do you want coordination too? Because that takes a little bit more effort. Like, do you want someone contacting the seller, scheduling them with escrow, making sure that your loan docs are coming in on time? Like that's the stuff. It's not just about the purchase and sales of getting it to close.
Mm-hmm.
Notifying you when your inspection timelines are up, so you don't
Okay.
miss a period in there. If earnest money's deposit, if there's anything due, I would probably highly suggest doing that.
Okay.
And
Mm-hmm.
then, but yeah, we can definitely do that for you. It won't be that much. I mean, we can kind of look at it, but it'd probably be a little bit under 0.5%, somewhere in there. Because we do
Okay.
take on a little bit of liability there. And so, but you guys, and that's why again, it's important to have that broker on your team or somebody that you can always, hey, can you look at this value real quick? Like someone that you do business with long term, or hey,
Mm-hmm.
can you write up this offer? Like, so I have a commercial broker that we've
Okay.
done 4 or 5 deals, and I'm a commercial broker as well. Now, when I have a really complex purchase on a bigger building or an offer I'm writing with a bunch of leases and different terms, I hire him to do my offer.
Makes sense.
And
Got
I feel like I'm fairly experienced in that. It's a different thing, and I don't want to make that mistake because that mistake could cost me hundreds, quite a bit of money.
got it. Got it. Yeah, that makes sense. And what is the best direction for me? Let's say if I wanted to try out in wholesaling, I know we have project wholesale, but like in general, when I cannot sign a contract because I cannot do that based on my visa restriction at this time, how can I take help so that nobody steal the deal as well? But at the same time, I can build the trust. Like, uh, how can I proceed with that part? What do you
Well,
suggest?
and so that's what it comes down to, is building partnerships with people and long-term relationships.
Okay.
And then that's where you just have an honest conversation with somebody like, hey, look, this is, here's my position. I
Mm-hmm.
just need this kind of help. And,
Mhm.
what will you charge me? And then just come to that agreement up front. And then you just can build that into your deal every time, right? Because you don't want to go to 100 people. That's how people will go around you. It's just
Mhm.
like, for example, I feel like I have a very good reputation and relationship with wholesalers around town that they send me addresses before they've even met the homeowner, and I'll throw them a rough number at the house. And they never have to worry about me going around their back.
Okay.
And so it comes down to trust. And, sometimes, that's, but the person still needs to get business out of it or they're not going to put in the effort.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
so, so I would just say kind of work that out. What's the, what is, depending on who the broker is or what they're doing, like, there could be somebody in our group that will do it for $1,000. And
Okay.
you're like, I really like this person. I'm good with that. But I would say focus on building that long-term relationship, see what's fair for both parties, come to that agreement, and then you don't ever have to worry about it again.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Uh, yeah, so okay, and with respect to wholesale, like if I work as an agent without any license or contract, usually the split, how much is the split like between the broker as well, between the broker and the wholesaler?
If
Like
you're partnering with a wholesaler, or sorry, I'm a little lost
if
on that.
if if I partner, let's say with a broker, for example, they find the investor or they find so in that part, like usually 20-80% split or 25, or like how does that work?
There's really no set standard on that. I would say
Okay,
if someone has a deal and they call me and they're like, hey man, can you help me get this thing moved? We just kind of split it 50-50.
got it.
So I do
Okay.
it two ways with people. Either they can contract the price, and if we move the deal, we'll split it 50-50. Or
Mm-hmm.
I tell them a price, you know, in the price is the price. Like they need to add whatever they want on top, right? And so, but they also need to commit on that too. Like, so if I'm ever doing a deal with somebody and I'm like, hey, here's the price. Let's say you bring me a deal. I'm like, I can pay you, either we can split it 50-50 on the dispo and the acquisition fee, or I can pay this much for it. Well, I can
Makes
give you
sense.
that number. And then
Mm.
you're like, oh, well, James just told me $1 million and I can get this for 900. Why would I want to split this? Right.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have to get a number out of someone that's going to actually close too. Right. And then I can do whatever I want with it from there, whether I close on it, whatever, the deal's done.
Okay.
So, but typically a lot of times it's 50-50, or I've seen people even do like 50-50, but then they pull like, $2,500 off the top for marketing.
Got it.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if they're really packaging the whole thing up and selling it and you went and found the opportunity, that's really, you found the seller, they found the buyer. It's kind of an even split typically.
Makes sense. Okay. Sounds good. Thanks, James. In case I want to reach out, maybe I'll coordinate with Carrie, you said, right?
Yes, Carrie.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll put that in there um,
okay.
and then and just say, hey, James says I could reach out to you, and she'll reach out to me, and I'll give her the full rundown on it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
yeah, for sure. AJ,
Hey James, how you doing?
good man, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
Market's so slow. AJ, what'd you sell? How fast did you sell your house?
It went pending in 3 days.
3 days.
Yeah, so
Shit, man, you underpriced it. You left all this money on the table.
oh man, we've been waiting to get rid of that one for a while, so it's all good.
Yeah. No, hey, congratulations though, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we're just until it doesn't get to the finish line though,
Oh yeah. No,
That's
yeah. Congratulations on this first step. Now you got to get this close.
yep, for sure. So yeah, I just had a question on for our next one. We should be finishing up in about 2 weeks. And this one is in Lake Forest Park. So I actually wanted to understand a little bit when we were looking at the initial ARV, it was listed at it was about 1.25. One of the things I did bring up was I couldn't price it at that point. I always saw it about 1.2. And speaking of our broker, she also thinks it's 1.2. So there's a little bit of conflicting, like where it's at, where it's going to be at, and where it's at.
Okay.
And so just kind of like looking at the comps and looking at the area, the one comp was from last year around November. And it was a flipped home. I think it was Tyler's comp.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So that's the equivalent. And we're just trying to, but that's from last year, and I don't see anything in the area up to that price. And so that's the only concern I have. So I just wanted to get a good gauge of the best way to kind of look at it and see where it's really at, because I'm kind of hearing two things. One is like, oh, that's the direct comp, but nothing else kind of supports. I see a lot of 1-1s, a little bit, maybe 1 bedroom short, a lot of 1 to 1.15, and then 1 or 2 that are 1.2, Rambler style, not split level like this is.
Okay, so the broker said she thought 1.2. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so what I want to know is, okay, so 1.2, did she give you a full CMA on that?
I have like the what do you call it? Just the usual like weekly.
The auto. Yeah, so you guys, those are auto comps, which are good for
Yeah.
market snapshots.
Yep.
But as we get to list, we want to go, okay, what's the pricing?
Yeah.
And so we want a full CMA on that. And then we want to know the things that we want to look at.
Mhm.
Okay, so before we price, I'm going to type this in the chat too. Is okay, so because I do know that area fairly well.
Mhm.
And I do know when Tyler came, you guys, again, this business is all timing. When Tyler came to market, the market was slow too. Because there was 2 comps for his house at 1.3 to 1.31 before he came on because he came on in August. And so those ones sold in the spring though. And so it was like this delta that popped up, right? And so now granted, the market's not any better than it was when Tyler listed either. And so, but those are older comps now at this point.
Mhm.
You got to go,
Mhm.
okay, what is it? Yeah, that aside, we want to go, okay, what are they selling in today? So the things I want to know is, okay, well, how many listings are available from what's the active inventory from 1.1 to 1.3? That's kind of the range in Lake Forest Park right there.
Mhm.
How
Yeah.
many have gone pending? And then what's the average price per square foot too that they're going pending at? Because sometimes these comps, are they smaller? Are they bigger? Is what's the amenities breakdown? Do they have master suites? Do they not have master suites? What's their yard? Because this is where we got to get into the fine tuning of, like especially in any kind of pocket like Shoreline, Lake Forest Park. There's so much delta. Like, is the yard really usable? Is it not usable? Is it Shoreline that's a little bit closer to 99 where there's a little bit of riffraff there, or is it Shoreline next to Echo Lake, which there's less, so there's a lot of variance in these comps, especially in that North Seattle pocket, because it's like Edmonds. Edmonds varies a lot. They just kind of change quite a bit. And so I want to know, okay, well, how much active inventory is on there? How big is your house?
It's 2,100 square feet. It
Okay.
shows mine as 1,900, but it's like it was last listed at 1,900, but it's
No, but
actually
under the records, county records, it's
under county records is 2,100.
Yeah, and that's why I hate generic analysis, right? So like only because I know Tyler's house. Tyler's house was only 1,750 square feet. So, and the biggest pushback that we had on Tyler's house was it was just a little too small. It was missing like the bonus area was a little small.
This is listed as 2,150.
Tyler's?
Yeah, this is the one.
Did we pop the garage in that one?
There's 2-car garage.
Yeah, what's the address on it?
His was 4222 Northeast 203rd Street.
Doesn't sound right. Because his was pretty small as a tri-level.
When listing, maybe he included the garage square footage.
We sometimes brokers will tend to do that, like myself, when we're pushing we threw a heater in there, I think. What was his address one more time?
Yeah, 4222 Northeast 203rd Street.
And granted, Tyler's house, I think Tyler's on one of the best streets you can be on, though. I really liked that pocket in that neighborhood. Like that's a killer spot. And so let me see. Now I'm checking the square footage. I don't think it was 21. It was a tight house. Let's see. It was a 3-bed, 2. Hold on. I'm checking. I really did like that street and the ambiance on the house. I thought it was worth money. Yeah, his gross was 2160 minus 260 of a garage. He was 13. Yeah, so that included partial because it's a tri-level. So part of that garage square footage that was up like, because half the house hung outside, half the garage
Yeah.
stuck outside. So the broker listed that with that garage piece in there. So that's because I'm like, that house did not feel that way. The basement was pretty small.
Yeah.
The house, yes, it was 21 minus 290 square feet. So it was, I'm pretty sure it was like a 1750, 1800 square foot house. But regardless, that comp's a long time ago.
Yep.
And so what we want to look at is what's price per square foot too, because we want to look at what's going on today. Like how many actives are there? And I want to report on that. How many actives? How many pendings? What's the price per square foot? What's the sale the kind of the information that we requested?
Mhm.
And go, okay, because now we have to really narrow it in and narrow it down. Like, is there new information? Is there different data that has came up? I'm guessing the value at some point since Tyler's house probably has gone up, it's gone down. Like it's just, that's kind of what the market does right now. And so
Yeah,
now right now we're probably on a little bit of the lower side. And then I also want to know how many showings are these houses getting or not? Because that one, when are you almost done with that one?
2 weeks.
That one might make sense to hit September 1st.
Okay.
Because that's a very family friendly pocket there too. Like
Mm.
and typically that's going to pick up a little bit during Labor Day. And I'm like, well, why race it out? And so we want to see what the activity and the showing activity is.
Oh, like current showing activity.
Showing activity, yeah, on every active that's in my price point, I want to know what's the volume. Now, if they have 4 to 5 people running through the house, that's good. They have one, a little slower. And so I don't, what a broker tells me, and I will talk to her about this, based on the auto comps, well, we got to break this whole thing down. And then what's the breakdown on that is, okay, so this one just sold. What's the difference between your house and this? What's the pros? What's the cons? Do they balance, or is there a delta whatsoever? Like, is your yard bigger? Is it not bigger? Do you have nicer, like Tyler's house, I rolled out at a higher price that I pushed. Reason I did for the price per square foot, because it wasn't 2,100 square feet, is because I felt very confident if I talked to anybody, I could explain the value.
Mm.
Streets are wide. It's walkable. We have massively renovated houses on each street, not flipped either. There was some sidewalks in the street. It had a different feeling. And not only that, we also had a little bit of a Sheridan Beach right deeded to us. Turned out no one cared about that, but that's why we rolled out that price and we can explain it. And so that's what we have to be able to do is to explain that price. And so that's why I want that broker breaking it down that way, because the list price isn't just based on auto comps. We got to go deep into it. What's the upgrades? What's the finishes? What's the amenities? What's the maybe it's sold for 1.2 and that tells us we were at 1.15 because it had an outbuilding, it had a pool, all these things, or it sold for 1.2 and it was somewhat updated and it had a very low backyard, or it was next to a bad neighbor, or whatever that thing is. And so we got to narrow that down, not just use auto comps.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. So yeah, this one requires a little bit more dialing in. And we noticed like the last one, Magnolia one, wasn't as we just went based on kind of auto comps on that one. So we didn't have that level on that one either, but that one probably wasn't as dialed in, or we didn't require it to be as dialed in maybe for that one.
And again, your Magnolia one, the price point on that one was it was
1.4.
1.4. That's also like the sweet spot in Magnolia for a lot of stuff right now.
It is, yeah.
And then 1.2 to 1.3 in Lake Forest Park is gonna be a little bit slower.
Yeah.
And so it's like selling 1.4 in Magnolia is like selling for like 1.4 in Ravenna too. It's just a good
It's a
meaty.
good spot, yeah.
That's like what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, where's the action? And I would say 1.2 was really hot in Lake Forest Park, Bothell, Shoreline, Edmonds, and now it's just taking a little bit longer in those spots. Magnolia was really hot at 1.5, 1.6. Now 1.4 is the new hot spot. And so, and so I would say, yeah, we want to dial this one in a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, and I saw that thing you did earlier with the whole breaking it down per 1,000, and yeah, it was you're right there. Like it's right now it's closer to about a 1.1
Is
to
that sweet spot?
that sweet spot.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like it moved 100,000 lower basically than where we're at. Kind of in that range, more of a sweet.
Yeah, it's kind of like Bellevue too. Like 1.5 is a really good spot, but then people are also buying dated, more beat up homes, right? And so that's just saying, well, the people buying right now value more than they do the upgrades.
Yeah.
They'd rather get a little cheap, right? And I've seen that the same, and definitely Bothell, Linwood, Edmonds, Lake Forest Park, those kind of zones. But that doesn't mean that our list price are off. It's because we have $100,000 in upgrades over those houses. So it's and we just have to be able to explain it. Now, if we can't explain it, that means we need to be at 1.1 as our price. And so, those are important things that we want your broker doing.
Okay.
Is digging in, especially because we have to know what the proposition is.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll go ahead and ask for those items. And then yeah, we'll sync up with her on that.
Yeah, and then the question to always ask any broker is like, hey, thanks for sending these comps. What do you think are the closest to me? This address. What's the pros and cons versus mine versus theirs?
Gotcha.
Like those are, and you guys, I did a very long training meeting with my staff last week, and we went over a bunch of things. Like, hey, here's the objections we're getting on this house. I'm like, okay, so this is the objections. So then we went through every pending that was in the area, and those pending had the exact same objections. And that's okay, but what that really means is that was just the reason that the person just threw out on the way out the door. They just didn't want the house.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't a real concern. And so, I went through, I'm like, nope, this one has the same problem. This one has the same problem. This one has the same problem. And then it's going, okay, well, the only resolve to this is they really want something different. But then, we're like, all right, well, they want a little bit more privacy. We had ChatGPT build out a built-in fire screen wall, a fireplace, and a barbecue pit that would go under the deck. And instead of cutting price, we're like, hey, well, what if we install this instead? And so it just tells us how to handle that objection or not. And so, that's what we want to dig deep into.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, and congrats, dude.
Thanks.
That was great, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah. I'm sorry that guy was such a pain in the butt.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Is
I could see it on your face. Yeah, it was.
you know what? The last time I think I actually talked to those guys was at like one of Leica's houses like 8 years ago. And I was like, I think me and him didn't get along really well because I'm like, well, dude, you're full of shit. So that's all I know. And me and him didn't get along well for whatever reason. I wasn't happy. I think it was for like a similar thing. But I mean, the guy has done a lot of projects for people around town.
He has. I would never recommend him whatsoever, and I want to make sure that's like a PSA to everybody in here, so nobody has to deal with that, because it's just like, it's not just permits. It's not keeping timelines right, not, just kind of wishy-washy answers on stuff, and then failing inspections, even
Yep.
inspections, like countless. And up to like this point where, like he's supposed to pass them and he still failed it as of last week, and he's fixing them right now for that house that's pending, which is horrible. Right. So this is,
And I will say that does happen. Like I'm dealing with one of my guys right now. I'm like, dude, get this signed off. We paid for AC. I can't install the AC till this is signed off, right?
yeah.
So there is that grind you got to put on people.
Yep.
But my big thing ever, what I've seen and heard from you is the dude has made some mistakes. It's dragged out your project. And when it comes to doing your punch list at the end, just do the right thing and make sure it looks good, right? Like, hey, dude, I'm sorry we went through these things. I'm gonna make sure this place shines for you. And if they won't do that, then they don't care. Like it's
Oh,
yeah.
they don't. First and foremost is, it's like not about the customer, it's about how much he's making. And that
Yes.
was always like top of mind for him. And I'm like, dude, I can't help you there. You were the one who gave me the cost. Like you gave me that, how much, like we agreed upon it, right? So it's just those kind of things. It's like no understanding in that stuff. But I gotta give it to Jasmine for dealing with him, because I couldn't deal with him. To be honest, I was getting ticked off with him.
Get him, Jasmine. Kill him with kindness.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she did.
But yeah, get that guy to finish.
Yep.
Don't pay him until he's done, and then
Exactly.
clear it out. And,
Yep.
good thing is you sold and you're making some money.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Next one.
all right, I think it was. I got Maya, then Jason. I thought Jason. I don't know what's going on with this call box. I can't figure out who's up on deck. So Maya, ladies first. Jason.
Sorry, Jason. Hi, James.
How are you?
So, I have a question. I am looking at a off-market property right now, and it's not in a bad neighborhood. It's in a cul-de-sac, and all other homes are pretty decent, but the next door neighbor, that house is completely junk. So, what are my, how much, whatever I fix it with, how much of a loss, or what do I expect from the buyers?
I would expect you're gonna have the house for a little bit longer time, just because no matter what price is on it, some people aren't gonna buy it.
Right.
And so when I have something like that, I always like to add in at least another 1 to 2 months of hold time on my deal to factor that in.
Okay.
And then typically when you have a negative impact like that, the pricing is it's gonna cost you anywhere between 5 and 10% typically.
10%. Okay.
It
So,
depends on the price point too. Like how much do you think it will sell for?
well, the comparable everywhere else is around 625 or 650 maybe, because I'm gonna do it nicely, but I don't think with the next door neighbor like that, I don't think I can achieve that.
Okay, so yeah, with the neighbor, I've gone to look at those comps, and the 650 comps are all have decent neighbor. Now, and some might not have great neighbors either, right? So I want to do look at that. But if they don't, I would
No,
probably,
no, they, I mean, none of them have a neighbor like this.
okay, yeah, I would think that's probably gonna be close to a 10% hit on that deal, and you're probably gonna be like a 599 house.
Okay.
And I would still factor in a little bit longer hold times. And honestly, I would put in some screening on it. I got a pretty rough neighbor right now that, we're just gonna install a bunch of bamboo.
No, I'm gonna put a fence, so that's, yeah, that should be fine, but even then, for the buyers, they actually have to pass through the neighbor's house first to come to this house, so.
Oh, got it, got it, got it. Okay. So it's a flag lot. So the one question though, are your comps on flag lots?
Oh, that's what I need to find out?
Well, because you could have a double negative there, so it might be worth a little bit less too. Because flag.
What is the double negative?
Uh,
I'm sorry, I missed
well,
it.
so typically a house on a flag lot where it's a house behind another house.
No, it's not behind. It's a cul-de-sac, but the first and the corner house is the one that is trashed, and this is the next house.
Oh, got it. So it's not behind, it's just next
It's
to it.
not behind. They just have to come pass through that.
Yes. Okay, I gotcha. Um, I would factor probably 5 to 10% on that one. I would think like 599 would be my number if I was looking at that and all the comps had nice neighbors at 650.
Okay. So this is from a wholesaler, and I don't know. I'm gonna meet the person tomorrow.
Okay.
So, but I can bargain at that time, right? I will.
Well, I think, and I wouldn't even call it bargaining. Hey Omar, want to say hi? I saw you just said hi. But I would just say, hey, wholesaler, thank you for sending me the deal. The only issue I'm having is this neighbor is terrible. Your comps aren't, you know, the comps all have good neighbors, and so I got to factor this in. I don't think this is an analysis, and so I'm at a 5 to 10% drop, and about 7 to 8% is at 599.
Okay. So,
And use logic with them because because maybe the wholesaler has a better deal later for you. It's just and so I don't really like to go back and forth. I just say, hey, this is what I'm using, and this is why.
okay.
And based on
Okay.
this information, I got to be at this price unless you have comps with equally as bad neighbors.
Right. Right. So there are 5 other houses in that cul-de-sac, and rest of them are all fine except for that, corner one.
Um,
So,
hey,
I mean,
well,
but I guess my question is, should I go? I mean, in my mind, my question is, should I go for this or not? I think that's the question I have.
um, well, we want to narrow in on those 650 comps. Are they really solid? Are they from the last 90 days, right? So I want to dig into those. Are they very recent? What are the actives right now? What are the pendings?
Okay.
And if, you know, are the comps even in the last 90 days? Maybe they're 5 months ago. And so I really want to narrow in on that. And then based on what I'm seeing at the house, it can be a little run down, but sometimes you get there and you're like, it's not so bad. It's beat up, but not the end of the world. Um, Now if it's beat up and they have a bunch of batteries and cars in the yard and it's more like junkyard,
Yeah, they do.
yeah, that's going to be a bigger hit on there.
Yeah. Okay.
So and sometimes I just go over and talk to the neighbors and get a read on them. Like, are they normal? Are they like, there's one the other day I just went to and I'm like, man, this neighbor's a lot worse than I thought it was. Guy's being cool. I'm like, hey, dude, how would you feel like getting you a paint job on your house? He's like, oh, I'm in. I was like, well, I'll give you 3 colors and you can pick. And I was like, just me spending 4 grand on his house will make a world of a difference. And,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so, I'll just throw that out there, but it's there's no exact on the neighbor. I would say, if it's trash to beat it, but if it does look like a junkyard, you're gonna scare off some buyers.
I mean, it scared me off. So,
Yeah, and so the buyers will have the same impression, and then, and that's okay. You can buy next to a bad neighbor, but if I'm buying something next to something I don't want, I want a better price. And
right.
and so will that next buyer.
Yeah. I mean, even if I I mean, I actually put it as 550, only because this is a 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath. I think I can make it 5 bedroom, 3 bath. Uh, and the couple blocks out, there's a 4 bedroom, 2.5 bath for 545, which was built 4 years ago. So
Oh, yeah. So
that,
those 650 comps the wholesalers then don't sound real anyways to me.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, so I want you to forget a 650 comps and let's grab 90-day comps, solds, actives, pendings. What's going on today? Then we need to back down your bad neighbor off that price.
Okay.
And drive that
Okay.
one at 550 because if it's newer, like maybe it doesn't have a yard or is there a high HOA? Because that does sound a little different, but
Yeah, they don't have a yard. We have, the house that I'm looking at has a better yard, and
yeah, but a
but
newer house,
newer house,
yeah,
and
that's
they
gonna have
have
a much better
HOA.
floor plan,
Yeah.
typically. Um, so I would dig into those comps pretty good. But throw out their comps and and run your own at that point. And 550 might be the right number, but that doesn't sound right to me. If that they're at 650, just how old are their comps? Are they in the last 90 days? Are they
No, actually, they're in January.
throw them out then. This guy's giving you bad information. Everybody wholesaling right now that's selling deals knows they can't go back that far.
Okay.
It's a completely different market.
Okay. So, and I mean, I'm sure you should have a crystal ball by this time. I heard you say many times from September it's going to pick up a little bit. Um, so the market right now is going to improve, or should we count on it or not?
What I'm saying that partially because I do think rates are going to go down a little bit, but also the market always gets better in September over July. And
Is that
so September's a better after Labor Day. Labor Day to, I would say, Halloween, it's a lot better than it is in the summer.
okay?
But
Okay,
it's
so
not as good as what it would be in January, February, typically.
right, right.
So, just with their comps are from when the market was jumping a little bit. I just don't worry about their comps, and you don't want to worry about it. We're not speculating, right? So you're going to buy on the now. And the
Yeah.
now is this is what this thing's worth today, minus the neighbor negative effect. These are my numbers I'm going with. If the market gets better, that means you just bought it at the right time.
Okay. Yeah. So don't worry about what's going to happen and just
No,
go with today's market.
yeah, and if I really do think it's a little better, I might buy something a little slimmer. And if I think it could get worse, I'm gonna buy a little deeper.
Okay.
And so, but yeah, it sounds like their comps are no good anyways. So I would just scrap those, run your own comps, do your walkthrough, your own budget, and then give them the number that works.
All righty. Okay. Uh, yeah. If the number works, I can still go ahead and do this deal.
Yeah, if the math, buy it.
All righty. Yeah. Okay. Uh, that's all my question is, James. Thank you.
Yeah. Go take a look. If that doesn't work for you, move on to the next one. No big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this seems like even with 550, it seems like a good return on it.
Yeah. Then
Uh,
go lock it down.
Yeah, yeah. So my my other flip, it's pending right now, and so
Congratulations.
thank you. It's from May 1st is when I closed on it, and it's going to close on August 15th, and so I got 100% for that, cash on cash.
I like it. That is a good deal.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is kind of what I'm looking here, but the neighbor's house is kind of making me nervous.
Yep. So we got to do it with logic.
Right.
What's the house really worth today? And then we're gonna back off 5 to 10% off that. I would say 10% if it's making you nervous.
Okay. Okay. All righty. Thank you, James.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Jason.
What's up, James?
What's up, man? How are you?
Good. I know this call is really long. Do you still have the mental capacity for a question? I want to be considerate of your brain cells.
Yeah, you are good, dude. What's going on, bud?
So this is about the Kirkland house. I guess three things I want to ask you. First is we had a little bit of change of plans just because the market is tighter right now.
With
And
are you guys gonna add a bedroom?
yes.
Oh, okay. And that stemmed from our last call, right? I was like, I want you to go check this, right? So they
Yep.
look at the value and they think it's more sellable as a 4-bed.
Yeah, I talked to Megan, and Megan is like, yeah, we do think adding an additional bedroom, like a flex space down there, will help with ARV. I got the change of orders back from my GC because we're changing the layouts a little bit now. I feel like he's slipping extra costs in there. I just kind of want to have you help me take a look at the bid. And let me know your thoughts on it.
Let's pull it up.
Okay. All right, let me see. Can you see this?
Got it right here. Okay.
So this on the left is the original bid, and this is the change orders. So what we're changing is, let me show you. So this is the downstairs, and this is the upstairs. So upstairs, let me switch this around. So the change order is originally we're gonna do like a 2 vanity right here, and the dimension of the toilet and the shower is just gonna stay the same. But you recommended last time that we're gonna expand out the shower. So the change order is now we're gonna shift the toilet over, and there's also a window here. So we're gonna shift it over to accommodate the larger bathroom, the stand-up shower.
Okay, what's the change order for that?
1,400. And I purposely asked him before I gave him the change order. I was like, so what do you think is going to cost to move the window over? Oh, he's like, oh, $200. But he quoted me 400. And he explains it here, 300 for labor, 100 for material.
Well, and that's where I'm like, okay, hey, question. How many, you're like, hey, thanks for getting this over to me. And question real quick. Hey, so how long do you think it's gonna take you to move that window over? Is it like an hour job?
Mm-hmm.
And then don't say anything about the price. Just kind of write it down.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then, and then when we recap, I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, I don't want to beat you up on your numbers, but do you have any room here? Because you said it was gonna take you 2 hours to move the window. It's $300. It's $150 an hour to move a window over. I mean,
yeah.
I think most carpenters charge like $75 an hour at most.
Uh-huh.
You know, and just say, hey, dude, I'm not trying to beat you up. I just want to be reasonable, right? That's always the approach that I try to take.
Of course. Of course.
Um,
So that's the upstairs.
Toilet, shower, plumbing to new layout. Okay, so you're just making your shower bigger right now, right?
Yep, for upstairs, yeah. Because right now it's only 30 inches. We're gonna move to like 42 inches.
Which I do think is worth it.
Yep.
You know, and I'm looking at that price at $1,000. The mud pan is probably going to be about. Because are you going to a mud pan too now from a insert?
Yes. Uh-huh.
That's not a bad price, dude. Because your mud pan prep alone is like 500, $600,
Okay.
and then you got your tile in there, and then your toilet plumbing all moving over. I think that's a fair price.
Okay. Got it.
But what I would like to do though is go including plumbing materials. And then I
Mhm.
would just make sure it says including all finished materials for mud pan, tile, everything.
Okay.
Because including plumbing materials means there's a lot to be, including tile and waterproofing.
And waterproofing. Okay. I'm buying the finished material, so I'm buying the tile.
Okay. Put all waterproofing material at minimum though in there.
Okay. Waterproofing materials.
Yeah, 1,000 seems a little bit high for this. Um, but it's not crazy for
Yeah. Yeah. He's saying like he just got the price from his sub, so he's not like upcharging or anything, but I don't believe him.
Okay. Yeah, I mean the window is definitely out of line.
Yeah.
Mud pan, I mean, that's not unreasonable.
Right.
Okay, so next one.
Okay, so this is for upstairs. Downstairs, that was the original layout, and this is like where all the changes are. So that's the garage. This is like a living room.
Yeah, yeah.
Our new plan now is to put like a wall with a 120-inch wide barn door here. So this can be like an office slash
Yep.
bedroom.
I was
And then
talking about that.
instead of doing the wet bar, we're gonna get rid of it now. We're just gonna do tub, toilet, shower, and then washer and dryer here. And then this would just be like a little bonus space.
Yep. Yeah, so you're gonna have a utility bath with a full bath now. So now you're going to a 4-3.
Yes.
Yeah. And the comps are looking stronger for that, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
At least that's yeah, that's what Megan says.
What? Oh, did she give you a CMA for it?
She said we need to add a bath, no, not bath, a bedroom down there to hit the target ARV will be better for the
Did she
ARV.
give you comps?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So she wasn't just saying it, she gave you comps, right?
Yeah. She looked at the comps, yep. And she gave me some too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically now we're going to a 4-bed, full bath in the basement, which is helping the value kick up because when you bought it, a 3-bed didn't matter, but now the 4-bed's helping them sell more.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I'm glad we're catching this now because you were in the right spot to do that in. So, so the change order for so how much are they charging for this?
For the bathroom alone, 7,100. Like right here.
What? Well, because you already had a toilet and a sink in there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in A, where's the wet bar credit? Because you had a wet bar on there, right?
Yeah. I asked him, he haven't responded yet.
Yeah. So extra framing for new bedroom, 800 bucks.
800. Yeah.
Okay, that's somewhat including materials, drywall, and paint. You know what? That's a deal right there.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Tub addition to basement, including installing new tub drain, concrete cutout, concrete filling, drain, install new tub fixtures. 3,500 bucks, dude. That should be like $1,000.
1,000.
So break the slab and pour a new slab. Reconfigure plumbing, install new drain, connect. That is not a $1,500 plumbing pipe. Install new tub fixtures. Just to install the tub fixtures, $500.
And this is what I want to talk to you about. So I went back to his original quote. Here, what is it? Plumbing. Right here. To install one bathtub fixture and one shower fixture is $400. So installing two fixtures, 400 bucks, and over here he's charging me five.
Yeah, so he's just throwing that out. The first thing is, hey, so you want I would 1,500 bucks, you can go get a laborer for $35 an hour to go put a jackhammer on that thing or a sledgehammer and break it. So be like, hey dude, this is kind of crazy on the slab work. This is gonna take him 2 hours, and this is a laborer doing this at 40 bucks an hour. Patching some concrete, not a big deal right there. That's like maybe 300 bucks on concrete at most. Ask him like, dude, that I just can't pay 1,500 bucks to break concrete. That's a little crazy. Like, you could have someone come out there and break that for you
Uh-huh.
for way, way less money.
Yeah.
And then talking about the shower, like, I don't understand the install at 400 bucks, at 500 when the other ones are at 400. And also in this bathroom here, you're adding a tub. So this plumbing pipe that they're putting in is about this long. Maybe this long. That's like 30 bucks in materials. The breaking, and then they got to connect it. They've already charged to break the whole thing up. Like, what I would honestly say is like, hey, dude, I think we might have a little bit of, there might be a typo on this. I think the 1,500 slab break and the new plumbing was all supposed to be one, not broken out.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I'd be like, dude, how is this $1,500? This is a very small piece of pipe that's going in and a tub. You got a tub that you got to buy that's 200, 300 bucks at most. So, kind of take the approach of like, dude, this is a lot of money for what this is. Like, how do we get this back? Um, Breaking this, I mean, should I just come break this slab out? I mean, you could literally pick up two dudes from Home Depot for 40 bucks an hour cash and give them
Yeah.
a sledgehammer, just watch them break it and then pull the shit out for you.
Damn.
I mean, that's crazy. And then, yeah, that should not be. I think your slab and concrete work should be like 600 bucks.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it should be $1,500 for almost everything, maybe 1,700 with the tub in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the install on the 500 per fixture is pretty high
Yeah.
because to put that fixture in, because you say, are you buying the fixture or are they buying it?
I am.
Okay, yeah, dude, that literally is going to take them less than a half hour, dude. So you're paying them $1,000 an hour to put that valve in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
It's not, and because this doesn't even say run only PEX plumbing for this at all. This says drain connection, but it doesn't say any new plumbing PEX in there. Which I'm sure it's in there, but I would get clarity. And so just kind of talk to him that way. Like, dude, I'm not trying to beat you up, man. I appreciate everything you're doing out here and working with me on this, but fuck, man, this is brutal.
Mm-hmm. And what did you say about the PEX?
Well, there's nothing. It talks about connecting to the underground,
Uh,
install new tub. Oh, so you're buying the tub too?
I am.
Oh, dude. Yeah, no, this should be 1,500 bucks for like the whole thing.
For section 2 over here.
Yeah,
Oh my
maybe
God.
1,500 to 1,800 because you're buying all the materials.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, so it's just double the markup on that.
Well, damn. That's like 1% of my profit.
Yeah, and the change orders is definitely where they try to get you, right? So I do think this is probably a smart move, but now we just got to grind that price down a little bit. And talking about the window, be like, dude, help me out here, man. It's gonna take you an hour to move this window. Like, this is just too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, is there any other change orders?
Um, yeah. Also, I caught over here because I went back to I'm like, this seems like I don't know shit about construction, but even this, I'm like, this seems a little high. And over here, he says to tile the bathroom downstairs, he quoted me 1,500, but initially in his quote, um, he he quoted me, let me see here, right here. He quoted me 1,200 for the upstairs bathroom to tile the floor and the shower. But over here, just the shower alone, he quoted me 1,500. So like little things like these, I pointed out to him, and I'm like, I'm gonna try to get some different quotes. And he's like, I felt like he was kind of getting frustrated. He's just like, bro, we need to keep this project moving forward. Like, I don't know what you want, so tell me what you want.
Well, yeah, and I think that's you just say, well, man, I don't want to get quotes. I just want to be fair, right? Like, can we match the same tile install as the upper part?
Yeah,
This window, dude, I'm not trying to beat you up, but like this is gonna take you maybe an hour to do this. You charge me like 300 bucks an hour. Can we get that down in half? And then this plumbing stuff, like again, I'm not trying to beat you up, but this is just labor and a little bit of concrete and a plumbing pipe, and I'm buying all the other shit. Like, I feel like should be at 1,500, 2,000 max on this. And
yeah,
just shoot him straight, see what he says. I'm like, again, dude, I'm not trying to beat you up. I'm just trying to like logically break this down
yeah, yeah,
and kind of go from there.
for sure. Yeah. Okay, so I'll talk to him. But I guess a next question that's a little bit general because I'm relatively new and I don't know anything about construction. So when you started out, how did you figure out all the like you said a carpenter should be 75 bucks an hour. So with all those little things, sometimes if I don't have you and Project RE at my corner, like I wouldn't know if I'm getting screwed or not.
No, but it's just like if I look on Upwork or TaskRabbit, they're advertising their prices right there.
Yeah.
And you know, or I'll even ask like a general contractor, like especially if it's someone else or a framer, like, hey, what are you paying your carpenters right now? Like shit, I met an electrician in North Bend the other day. I always ask that question, like, hey, so you're working for that guy? Hey, question, dude, like, what kind of hourly rate do you get paid there? This dude told me and blew my mind. I was like, you gotta be shitting me. 40 bucks an hour he's making at, under his electrical guy, and he can run full electrical. I'm like, these fuckers are charging us 150, say their hours are going up, right? And so what did I do? I go, hey, when are you gonna have your master service license? He's like, in like 2 months off 3,000 hours. I'm like, cool. You want to start an electrical company? He goes, yes. I was like, call me. And it just, I just always ask that question, you know? So it's not that I really know. That's what handymans go for. And then I'm always like, hey, what are you paying a framer right now? Like, what are you paying your plumber labor guy? I don't ask the guys who even working for me. It's more like out in the field too.
Ah, okay.
Constantly inquiring.
Yeah. Just ask the subs like, hey, what are you getting paid for this, etc.
Well, just like in general, like if I'm get to know a business owner, like my electrician, I'm like, hey, dude, what are your journeyman guys costing you right now? They're 65 bucks an hour. Like, okay. Like, I just always ask, but I don't ask in a weird way too. It's just like throw it out there, like, dude, yeah, everyone's price going up. What are these guys charging now?
Yeah,
Like, so
for sure.
the gentle, laid back conversations work better.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
Um,
TaskRabbit is a good way to pull that.
what is it called?
Just TaskRabbit, it's like a handyman website, or you can look at, I mean, there's Upwork that people advertise their hourly rates.
Yep. Yep.
Handyman's usually gonna be 60, 70 bucks an hour right now for a decent one.
Gotcha. Okay. That's good insight.
And we only get, if I don't know it, I get 5 quotes. If we call 5 handymans, I want 5 different hourly rates and see where the consistency is.
Yeah. Okay. That's good. Sweet. Another thing that's having me a little worried about this property is like we're not doing like major wall moving, right? Just like couple little wall moving. You think I should get permits for this?
I think you're gonna get real stalled out if you do right now.
Yeah. Okay.
That's you gotta make that own call. I think I know a lot of people that probably do the same type of scope of work that just run the way they. It's just that's kind of a coin toss. I mean, technically, yes, you're supposed to get permits,
Uh-huh.
but Kirkland's a little slow, so it's gonna take some time at this point.
Okay. So best bet is just do it, and if I get hanged, then just deal with it.
At this point, you're so deep in, I get it closed up as quickly as possible.
Okay. Tiana was telling me I should take all the pictures of like all the rough ends and the electricals. You would recommend that as well?
Yeah, it's good to have those at any time, just in case I have an install.
Okay,
In general.
for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And then last question. I was talking to Megan texted me today. He said you had another recommendation for the Kirkland to change your floor plans?
No.
No? Okay.
No, that was my recommendation to everybody. I'm like, you guys, this is how I would probably look at this, run comps and talk to Jason.
Uh-huh. Yeah, she said Jimmy was floating an idea by. So not sure what that was. Okay.
No, but I would just always also respond back, like, what's the idea?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, James. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, I'm gonna eat some dinner. I'm now hungry. But you guys, everything we talked about in the meeting, it's all about repetitions. Look at it, look through the data, use ChatGPT, use Redfin, use your broker, get that information, and then look at those price points and let the data guide you guys. And if you don't trust your broker's recommendations or what they're telling you, and they're not giving you enough, tell them what your expectations are. If they're not giving it to you, then maybe you need to switch off on your broker. So, all right, you guys, I'm gonna wrap up. It's been 4 hours. I'm starving. I will see you guys next week.